hip, hip, hip. Hey, what's up everybody? The Fish Tank Guy here, and welcome to the next entry in my Pico Reef series featuring the Fluval EVO 5-gallon tank. Now, I know it's been a while since my last video, but we're going to pick up right where we left off, and today we're going to talk about cycling your tank. Now, when a lot of people hear the term cycling your tank, they think of a complicated and convoluted process that's hard to follow, right? But in reality, it's pretty simple and straightforward. So if this is your first time doing it, you have nothing to worry about. We're going to get through it just fine. So first, I want to talk a little bit about why we cycle the tank. The reason behind this process is to make sure that you have enough good bacteria built up in your system to offset the toxins that come from fish waste and food decay. If you don't have that good bacteria in your system, those things will build up very quickly and can hurt and even kill your fish and coral. So that's why we're going about doing this. You know what I'm saying? All right, so in terms of cycling, there are two processes you can follow. The first is by using a fish, and the second is, I'm thinking it's pretty obvious, going with a fishless cycle. Now, me personally, I like to do the fishless cycle for a couple reasons. Firstly, when you're going through the cycling process, ammonia is going to be building up in your tank, which is very harmful to fish. So A, that's just not very nice, right? And B, if you want to keep your fish alive, you're going to have to monitor your water very closely and possibly do water changes throughout your cycling process to keep that level of ammonia down to a safer amount so your fish can live, which I don't want to deal with all that. So I just go with the fishless process, and that's what this video will focus on. Now, before we walk through the process, a lot of people have asked me in the past, do you keep your filter media in your tank while you're doing the cycling? For me, it's pretty easy. If it's physical media, like a sponge or filter floss, then the answer is yes, because that is actually a good spot for that good bacteria to start growing. Eventually, in a saltwater tank, you want that to be in your rock and your sand, but to start, it can be in your physical media. Now, if it's chemical media, I like to remove it because most chemical media is in place to help filter out ammonia and nitrites, which are some of the things you want to build up during your cycling process so that good bacteria will, show up and start eating away at it. So I don't want to remove that with chemical media. It almost defeats the purpose, if you know what I'm saying. So that's my personal preference when it comes to filter media and if I keep it in my tank or not. As for the process itself, I want you guys to keep in mind that this is going to take 1 to 2 months, so you have to be really patient. Now, if you choose to go with live rock or live sand, that amount of time can be reduced dramatically, right? But I always choose to go with dry rock and dry sand, and I'm okay with being patient because in this hobby you have to be patient, so you might as well get used to it now, right? But anyway, what are the steps that you actually need to follow? They're pretty simple and straightforward, as I mentioned before. First, you're going to start by putting a pinch of fish food into your water every day for a few days. Now, after you've done that for a few days, you're going to want to start testing your ammonia levels. You can do that, say, every other day. Over time, you're going to see that ammonia start to rise, which is a good thing. After you've seen it rise and you continue adding fish food on a daily basis and you continue testing every other day, you're going to start to see your ammonia drop, which is exactly what you want. When you start to see that happen, now it's time to start testing for nitrites also, along with your ammonia on that every other day schedule. You're going to see your nitrites rise, your ammonia fall, and then eventually you'll see your nitrites fall as well. After you get absolute 0 readings on your nitrites and your ammonia, then you're probably good to go. Woo! You can continue adding a pinch of fish food for a couple days and still check your water parameters just to be safe, but those should always stay at 0, and you'll see your nitrates go up a little bit, but they shouldn't go up too much. So at that point, you are good to go. So after you've gone through all that, you're about ready to start adding some livestock to your tank, which I'll talk about in the next video. But just a word of caution, the rule of thumb is take it easy and go slow. Don't put a whole bunch of stuff in your tank all at once. You'll find that it doesn't work very well. Believe me, I've been there. So once again, I'm the fish tank guy. I would like to thank you so much for checking out my channel, checking out this video. I hope you found it helpful. Please leave a comment or a question or anything below in the comment section. If you have not yet subscribed, that'd be awesome if you could do that. And until a future Fish Tank Guy video, I will see you guys soon.